So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, Katie Healy. How you doing, Katie?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Honestly, it's an absolute pleasure. As I say, you've already met my wife and you get on like a house on fire. So this is probably the worst part for you. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, exciting times ahead. But before we get to all that, we'll go back to the start. Where did it all begin? You obviously started with your kickboxing.
Yes. So I started when I was 11. I started in the kickboxing. Never started the sport thinking I want to compete in it. It was more so of a social interaction, a bit of a hobby whilst I was at school. And then when I got to about 15, I just did a light continuous competition. And it just kind of went from there. I absolutely loved it. I loved the feeling of being in the ring. I've always been quite competitive and I like a challenge. So having something to aim for and to train for suited me really well. And then, yeah, all the fights just kind of went from there. I built up my experience. I did quite well in the kickboxing game. And then I took a little bit of time off, realised that I missed it so much and wanted a new challenge. So we moved over to the boxing.
Because you've done uni, you've done everything else as well. So you've kind of got almost something to fall back on as well. You know, yeah. You've done what I call the clever thing, because you see a lot of boxers go through their entire career, don't they, from start to finish, and then they come out and they feel like they're at a loose end. They some of them struggle. You know, some of them are lucky, aren't they, to find punditry and to stay in the sport coaching somehow. But you know, what did you do at uni?
I did business management. Did it for 4 years. Yeah.
Blimey! And what was it? A 2-1?
Yeah, I got an upper 2-1 in the end. I was aiming for the first, but just missed it off. But yeah, upper 2-1, so I was happy.
Yeah, see, I walked past the uni and I think the door's shut, so I wouldn't even worry about it. You know, I think hats off to you. I think, especially with something like that as well, you can take that anywhere, can't you? So
yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why I did it, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and it was such a general course where you could kind of go into a lot of different areas. But yeah, now I look back at how much student finance I've got and I'm thinking, was it the right decision? But it got me a job in the end and I enjoy it, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, the only way to pay it off is pro boxing.
There we go. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I just need to pay off the student loans, you know what I mean? But yeah, your kickboxing career successful as well. Yeah. So you had 3 world titles.
Yes.
What weight category were they?
So the first one I did in New York, that was 57 to the 59 kilogram bracket, because they worked in kilograms more so in the kickboxing. Yeah. And then the second one I won over in Kent, that was minus 57. And then the third one was back at home, which was really nice to kind of end on a high, and that was minus 55.
Okay, so you've been going down each time.
Yeah, I fought for a British title at 64, so I fought at like quite a range of. I think it's as I've got older as well, I've just learnt more about my body and what I fight better at, and your body changes every year, so you just kind of have to adapt to it and learn with it. But yeah, towards the end I found quite a comfortable weight for me and the one that suited me the best.
So we're obviously looking to turn pro in the boxing game next. Why did you turn to boxing rather than sticking to your kickboxing? Because obviously, you know, you've been a success at your kickboxing, and you know, a lot of people just continue to build, change weights. You know, that's the way, isn't it? But why the switch over?
It was a few factors for me. I'd say the main one was I love a challenge, and I got to the point in the kickboxing where I always aimed at like winning a world title. That was the goal. Like I wanted to achieve that. So achieving 3 was more than I ever imagined. And then when I took the break off and coming back, a lot of people had transitioned into boxing at the gym, and we've got like the likes of Rachel, I train with, who we all know has done very, very well in the boxing, and it was quite inspirational watching people make that transition and being so successful at it. And like I say, I was watching, I was thinking, I want that new challenge now. I'm enjoying doing a bit of boxing with everyone else, enjoying learning. It was something completely new. So yeah, it just kind of went from there for me. It was the idea of something new. It was exciting, and I like to change things up and set myself new targets. So yeah, it's just, I went to the gym one day, started training again, and me and my coach Gav just had a chat and was like, should we just go for it? And it just kind of went like that in a click of a finger. And then yeah, here we are now.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? You know, as I say, at least you've got that base that you've built up with your kickboxing to, you know, you know how things work, you know, what weight you're comfortable at. It may be slightly different. What weight are you going in at for boxing?
I'm going to go bantamweight, 50. It's around 55 kg, like kickboxing. Yeah, like I say, that was the last time I weighed in under that for my last fight. I think I weighed in at like 53.9. But I felt good at that weight. That felt like the right weight for me. I felt strong. I felt quick. So yeah, I think we're going to give that one a go and see how I feel, because it is slightly different in the boxing, but we'll see how I feel at that weight. But it felt the most comfortable at the kickboxing, so I'm taking it from that.
Yeah. Well, as I say, you've got a good base to work from, especially with the competitive sports. You know, you're well in there, aren't you? Already, you've got a good start there, and your pro game starts in May. We're not too sure on a date yet, but around May time. Even if you did know, you're not going to tell me. She knows.
Trying to get
she knows. She knows. It didn't work. Yeah. So no, I think, why not? I think you're going to do a great job. You know, you've got a great attitude. You can see that you're training well. You know, you've obviously got a decent team behind you. Good promotion as well. Why not? I think that women's boxing is on the absolute high at the moment. I'm a massive fan of women's boxing. As you say, you pointed out one of the stars there who kind of, well, she exploded onto the scene as far as I'm concerned. You know, Rachel Ball, quality fighter, you know, not afraid to have a fight, but her boxing ability, she really shone in that Courtney fight. Yeah, I think she's going to have a bright future, and she'll probably get the winner of Bridges and Courtney, I would have thought. I think that's the arrangement anyway. And then you've obviously got your Taylors, Natasha Jonas.
There's some big names at the moment.
It goes on, doesn't it? It goes on.
And it keeps on, how to put this, but each week someone's added to that list. It's growing and it's growing, and it's amazing at the moment. I've never known women boxing so big. Over the last 12 months, it's just, like you say, it's blown up. It's blown up, and it's such an exciting time, especially just going into the sport. It's so exciting.
Yeah, and you look at what Eddie Hearn's doing, you know, and I'll pick Eddie out, you know, don't get me wrong, the boxing industry as a whole, but Eddie's really put the women on a platform, isn't he? You know, and in my opinion, when you look at that Jonas Taylor fight, that should be headlining as far as I'm concerned. That, you know, don't get me wrong, I love Chisora and Parker.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the biggest fights, in my opinion. You know, anything with Katie Taylor in, full stop. But to have Natasha Jonas in there, who's possibly going to be one of her toughest opponents yet, I think it's going to be a great fight.
Oh, then it's one I'm really looking forward to be honest. As soon as it got announced, I was like, that's going to be a good one to watch. Yeah. But it's going to be a fight. It's going to be so entertaining. You can just, you can predict it.
Yeah, they'll both go to war with each other. They can both box. They've both got great movement. It's a tough one to call. So who are you going with, Katie?
Thought you might ask this one. It is a tough one. It is a tough one.
No one sits
Katie,
on the fence, by the way, on this show. No one sits on
yeah,
the fence. So
yeah,
there's no pressure, but
yeah.
I need an answer.
Okay. Well, Katie Taylor, I've got to say, I think for most women, she's the idol at the moment for women's boxing. She's absolutely phenomenal. And then you've got Natasha Jonas, and her fight against Terry Harper was one that really, really stood out for me recently. They're both so different, and I think it's all going to come down to whose game plan is stronger on the night. Do I have to give an answer?
Even if you do it after we finish recording, I'll just do a live one and I'll just stick it out there anyway. So you might as well give me an answer, really.
I think I'm going to back my idol at this moment in time and say Katie, but it could go either way. It could go either way. It really could. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to stick with saying that I think whoever's game plan stronger that night will win that fight. And I follow them both on social media. By the looks of things, they're both training hard. They're both up for it. Their drive's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm quite excited. But yeah, with Katie Taylor being my idol, I'm going to go with Katie on this one. But we'll have to wait and see. Natasha could pull it out the bag.
I am messaging you on the night. I'm going to see just before the fight. Expect a message.
Changed.
Yeah, expect a message, and I want you to go. I want you to say exactly the same thing you've just said, because I had on a couple of weeks ago, and she is so game. And at the time she didn't have that news. They were obviously working on it, but she didn't have that news to give. But she was so game for anyone who was going to step in that ring with her, and that's what she's dangerous.
Yeah, it's so hard to call. Like I say, that fight against Terry Harper, I was on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. I don't even think I've took my eyes off the screen, even for like the breathers. It was a stunning performance from both of the fighters. But yeah, it's such a difficult one to call. It really is. And you might ask me next week, and I go, I've changed my mind. It's one of them. Like I say, Katie Taylor's so inspirational to me, and I'll stick to my answer for now. But like you say, you're going to message me just before the fight to see if it changes. I can't wait for it. Can't wait.
You follow me back, because you're not hiding from this. I'll tell you. I'm getting this answer. I'm going to get blocked after this. That's it.
Probably straight away. Do it whilst we're speaking.
Yeah. Oh, nice, subtle. But no, honestly, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All jokes aside and everything, I wish you all the best. You know, you've gone from being a real talent in kickboxing, and you're coming over to, at the moment, the spotlight of women's sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's only going to grow, and it's only going to get better. Looking at some of the youngsters coming up, yourself included, coming into that mix, it's only going to make it more exciting. So yeah, I really wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing in May when we get the
It should be announced shortly. We're looking at probably mid-April to get it out on the social media side of things. So yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks.
No, but I look forward to it, and I think you'll it's just great to see more people coming into the sport and bringing different skills and different things in, and with your dedication, I think you'll do really well. So
thank you.
Good luck, and as I say, stay in touch. And
thank you, John. Thank you for having me as well.
No problem at all.
And letting me meet the cats before the interview.
Right. You've met them all. So that's it now, family. So yeah. Thanks for coming on, and I'll speak to you soon.
Lovely. Thank you ever so much.
No problem. Take care, Katie.
Thank you. You too.
See you later.
Bye.
Katie Healy, going into boxing in May, taking that transition from kickboxing right the way across, and yeah, I wish her all the best. 3 titles, 3 world titles in kickboxing, so expect big things from Katie. Yeah, just get behind her. Really, really lovely. Yeah, so you've been watching JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.